guys, it's Adrian. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you the long-awaited December wrap-up. It's a little bit late, but you know, I had to pre-record all my videos, so here we are. As usual, let's start off with my check-in for my November wrap-up. In my November wrap-up, I had a total of 6 books, and of those 6, I only read 3. The 3 books that I did not read are Frankenstein by Dean Koontz, My True Love Gave to Me, edited by Stephanie Perkins. I was actually really disappointed about this one. I was very much looking forward to reading it. By the time I actually got to read Christmas stories, I was just a little Christmased out, if that's even possible, but I couldn't. And The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. This one, as you probably have seen, is traveled over to my January TBR. On to the books that I did actually read. Though I did not read 3 of the books that are on my TBR, I actually read a total of 5 books and 1 audiobook. And that is really good because I didn't expect to read hardly any books in December. Thanks to the holiday booktubeathon, I actually have a pretty decent wrap-up to show you this month, so go me. The first book that I read was Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. This is a book about a girl named Catherine, and Catherine meets the handsome Henry Tilney, and she becomes friends with his sister Eleanor, and they go take her to their family home, which is actually an abbey. Now, Catherine is a lover of Gothic novels, so she finds funny, quirky things all over this old abbey. I really enjoyed this one because of, number one, the writing. I can appreciate the old-fashioned writing that Jane Austen has. It's quite beautiful and very rich. These novels tend to be slower, but they're a product of their time, so I can honestly appreciate them. But what I actually loved the most about this was that it was kind of like a parody or a satire of Gothic novels. It was just ridiculous, which made me enjoy it. I think had it just been a straight-up Gothic novel, I might have been a little bit, I still would have enjoyed it, but I think I might have been a little bit more skeptical and I would have found it a little bit more ridiculous. But because I know that it was meant to kind of poke fun at them a little bit, just a little bit, I enjoyed it a lot more. So this one got a 4 out of 5 stars from me. The next book that I read, finally, you can all be proud of me. I am working my way through a series that I should probably be reading if I'm going to have a booktube channel, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This was really good, as Sarah J. Maas's books usually are for me. I gave this one a 4.25 stars. In case you don't know, this is about an assassin named Selena, and she's been convicted and sent to a prison camp for being an assassin for obvious reasons. And she was invited to take part in a competition for the king in order to become the king's champion or the king's assassin. And when she goes to the castle, the palace, to be able to do this, also assassins are mysteriously dying, so there's a mystery around it, and she has to be able to solve this mystery and not be killed herself, as well as win this competition so she can become the king's champion. It's a lot more complicated than that. It's a lot more intriguing than that. This book, again, was really good. Like I said, I gave it a 4.25 stars. However, there were a few things that bugged me. First of all, it was a little bit slow. I was prepared for it to be a little bit slow, and first novels usually are a little bit slow, so I think that's why I gave it a higher rating, because I knew it was coming and so I could appreciate it. But one of the other things that bugged me is just a teeny little thing that maybe not even be important, and I may have just completely missed something. But in the beginning of the book, one of the assassins tries to escape, and he was killed right away. Didn't even get to the door. It's not a spoiler, it happens like in the first 30 or 40 pages of the book. And later on in the book, another assassin tries to escape. I won't tell you who or why or what, because that will spoil you, but this person gets away with it. That seems a little convenient for me. I know I'm being nitpicky, but it bothered me just a little bit. But other than that, I really enjoyed this book, and I am looking forward to reading the next one. The next book I read in the month of December, I alternated between book and audiobook. When I was cleaning, I listened to the audiobook, or traveling. When I was just relaxing, I read the book. You know how it goes. But again, I'm on a kick where I'm trying to pick up a series that I feel like I should be reading for my booktube channel, because I haven't read them yet, and everybody seems to know about them. So I'm kind of behind. So the book that I picked up this time was Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. For those of you who don't know, Percy Jackson is a story about a teenager who finds out that he's half god, half human, and he goes on this crazy adventure to retrieve a stolen artifact that's been stolen from the god Zeus. I have probably a very unpopular opinion. I'm sorry, but I didn't like this book. I mean, it was okay. At some points it was intriguing. I think what I'm discovering is that I'm just not a huge middle grade fan. I feel like a lot of the middle grade books that I've read, the middle grade fantasy ones, with the exception of Harry Potter, which in my opinion, I don't really know if you can classify that as middle grade, but like the Percy Jackson, I have the same issue that I had with the Artemis Fowl book that I read last year. It just seems a little bit too unrealistic. I know it's supposed to be unrealistic. I know that it's supposed to be this far out story, but I don't know. It was too bizarre for me. It was just too bizarre. That being said, the plot was interesting. I was interested to find out what happened when Percy found out who his father was and how the story was going to solve. So I did end up giving this a 3-star rating. And because of that, and because there were little things that I gleaned out that I did really enjoy in this book, like I said in my earlier video, I am going to pick up the second book for the month of January and give it a shot. As of this point, I'm not much more of a fan of the second one than I am in the first one, but we'll talk about that when my January wrap-up comes around. The third book I read in the month of December was A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. This one was, I don't think, entirely fair to rate, but because I'd seen the movie and the play and basically anything Christmas Carol, I knew the story inside and out, and I was tired when I was reading this book. So the language, of course, because it's older, it takes a little bit more concentration, which I generally can appreciate. But because of that, and because of the fact that I knew the story already, I found it to be a little bit boring. And I feel like it shouldn't be. I feel like I should enjoy it. So I gave this a 3-star rating, but I plan on reading it again next year and giving it another shot because I feel like I should like it. Because I love the play, I love the movie, I should love the book. And then started the booktubeathon, and I read 2 books during the booktubeathon, as you probably have heard in my booktubeathon vlog, which is here if you would like to check that out. But the first one that I read was Heartless by Marissa Meyer. Heartless is a kind of like a prequel to Alice in Wonderland that talks about the Queen of Hearts. This is about a woman named Catherine, and it follows her journey from how she became just a regular, happy, content baker to how she became this god-awful Queen of Hearts that we read about in Alice in Wonderland. When I went into this, I was a little bit skeptical because I am not a huge Alice in Wonderland fan for much the same reason why I'm not a huge Percy Jackson fan, because the bizarre books, I just have a hard time relating to them. So I was a little afraid that I wasn't going to like this book, but I actually really did. I enjoyed it quite a lot. Now, again, I'm being nitpicky this month. None of my books got a 5-star rating because I've been in a nitpicky mood for some reason. I don't know. But one of the things that bothered me the most in this book is that towards the end of the book, and this is not a spoiler, but towards the end of the book, we're shown the sexuality of one of the characters. Now, I know that it was laced throughout the story and it was sort of obvious, but it was kind of like right at the end of the story, like seriously in the last 30 pages, the sexuality was revealed. I feel like it was just made that way for no other purpose than to make the book diverse. And I don't like when that happens. I mean, if you're gonna have a certain sexuality in a certain character, then do it for a better reason than just to make the book a diverse book. I'm not saying that that's the way that it was written or that's how Marissa Meyer did it, or I don't know. I'm just saying it just felt that way, and I think that's sad because I really appreciate Marissa Meyer's books. Do any of you that have read this book feel that way, or is it just me? But nonetheless, this book did get a 4.2-star rating, and I did very much enjoy it. And surprisingly enough, after reading this story, I want to go back and read Alice in Wonderland, even though I know I didn't like it. I just want to see the Queen of Hearts again and see how close she was to this Catherine in this story. And the last book that I read in the month of December is Boundless by Cynthia Hand. This is the last book in the Unearthly trilogy, and it follows a girl named Clara, and Clara is part human, part angel, and she's given this purpose, as all angel bloods are, to complete. And so the trilogy follows her and her quest to complete this purpose. This is one of my guilty pleasure reads. It's maybe not the best writing ever, it may not be the best plot ever, but for some reason or another, I really enjoyed this book. My only issue with this book, and again, it seems like I have an issue with every book this month, but she just didn't end up with the person that I wanted her to end up with, and that made me a little angry, so that's why I gave it a 4.5 stars. Alright guys, that wraps it up for all the books that I read in the month of December. Please let me know if you have found any of the issues that I have found in any of these books as well, because I'm curious to know if it's just me and my crazy head or if it's actually something that other people see as well. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. See you next time, guys. Bye.